Hello, good morning once again. Good morning. I hope you are all in good shape and everyone is present today. So, before we begin with our new lesson, may we have this presentation. I hope you have learned the different concepts and ideas in the previous lesson, which is the suffrage, political parties, and related to election. All right, and I hope you were able to define the differences among these concepts. All right, so let's begin with our new lesson. But before we do that, let's have this analyzation of the pictures. Okay, so I'll show you this slide. Okay, this is now the slide, and as you can see here, we have here different logos, no logo of different organizations. Now, what is your idea about this picture? Do you have any idea what comes to your mind? Or have you ever encountered these logo or logos? All right, perhaps some of you are thinking about the rally, no? Or other form of organization. Okay, so what is their relevance to our society? In your own observation, why do we have this organization? Okay, yes, right. So you see, we if you observe this organization, I hope some of you have an idea about this, and you might have encountered this different organization based from their logos or from their logo. So these are the different organization that sometimes we can see in our society. Most of them are organizations that seeks for certain improvement in our society, or sometimes they display or they show their uh, issues or grievances to our government. Okay, so this means that our topic is about the civil society and social movement. Okay, I think you have a background of this topic since we have a little bit of this lesson in your previous subject, which is UCSP, right? In understanding culture, society, and politics. So I hope you have still recalled, you still have understood what's all about this, or you still have an idea about this based on that lesson. Okay. Now, what do we mean by social society, and what is social movement? Again, these are organizations, okay? But their only difference is based on their interests or mission or goal in society. Let us define first what do we mean by civil society. Now we have here different definition of this word civil society. Okay, let's take a look at this. Now, civil society, according to the United Nations organization, is the third sector of society according to this UN, United Nations organization, along with government and business. Okay, take word of that word, third sector. What do we mean when we say third sector? What is the first sector and the second sector? Have you have have you ever thought about that? Do you have an idea about this sector term? We have first sector, second sector, third sector. Or why do we say it's a third sector? Just like in a relationship, right? We may have encountered the word third party, di ba? So when we talk of third party, they are all right. So they are other entity aside from you being a couple. 'Di ba? Yan ang ibig sabihin ng third party. Kumbaga in our language, para bang third party is kumbaga sa mag-asawa, ito yung sinasabi nilang kabit, 'di ba? Because they are not part of the couple. The first and second ang tinatawag. First sector and second partner are usually the main subject. Okay? Now, why do we say it's a third sector of society? Kaya siya tinawag na third sector kasi nga they are not related to the first and second sector. And when we talk of the third sector, they are not part of ano yung tinutukoy, ano yung sinasabi ditong first and second sector. The first and second sector na sinasabi dito is the government and the private sector. Okay, yan yung tinatawag na first and second. Although hindi sinasabi na first sector, second sector ang tawag doon. Generally, ang tinatawag lang siya ay public and private sector. Now, kaya tinawag siyang third sector, it is not part of that two. Okay, hindi siya kasali doon sa private and public. Or in other words, yung ating government and the private institution, okay, na meron kang ugnayan sa governance or sa government. So yun ang ibig sabihin, parang it's a relationship between the government and the other part of society, yung mismong the subject of the government, okay, yung private institution that includes we the people and other partner of the organization, partner of the government, katulad ng kaya tinawag na private sector. They are they are the partner of our government, but they are not directly supervised by our government. Okay, yun yung tinatawag na private sector. Okay, so that is what we call civil society. So meaning, ang explanation ng United Nations is that tinawag siyang third sector. Okay, so para bang another group of organization aside from the government and the people and also the private sector. So they are third sector. Now, other meaning, no? According to World Health Organization or WHO, civil society, according to them, they claim that civil society as a political sphere separated from both the state and the market. Okay, the state and the market. It is non-state, not-for-profit, voluntary organizations formed by people in that social sphere. So, yun ang ibig sabihin, ano? So, yun yung definition ng civil society according to WHO. It's a political sphere separated from both the state and the market. So, separated from that first and second sector. Katulad ng dinescribe kanina ng UNO, no? United Nations. So, yun ang pagkakasabi niya. They are, however, non-state. Ibig sabihin, hindi sila part ng government, not for profit. Mostly itong civil organization ay they are there hindi para kumita. Hindi katulad ng private sector na mostly ay mga kumikita yan. They are also voluntary organizations. Ibig sabihin, hindi sila binayaran ng gobyerno. Okay? They were not commissioned by the government. They formed this group for themselves because they have something they have something to deal with for the society, okay, or for the government. Okay, they want reform most probably. Okay, they are formed for the people or by the people. I mean, they are formed by the people. So ito ay binuo ng tao dito mismo sa political sphere. Although they are part of the political affairs of the government, but they are not directly engaging or they are not really part of government. Okay, they are just there to monitor and to help our government. Okay, but they are not for profit. Yan ang sinasabing civil society group. So, ibig sabihin, voluntary in nature, mostly ang kanilang goal. Okay, now, let's see other definition. Okay, this is now the general definition. Most probably, you can see this definition in the other texts or other books. So according to this definition, civil society is a broad range of organizations, networks. Okay, so try to analyze this, no? They are a broad range. Ibig sabihin, they are very complex, komplikado, malawak, no? Na uri ng mga organization, or it could be network. It could be the associations, no? Or groups and movements. Okay? So, lahat ng mga yan, they are part of civil society that are independent. This is the most interesting or the most important clue for you to differentiate what is civil society from other group. They are movements, they are associations, they are organizations, or they are groups that are independent of government. Okay, ibig sabihin, hindi sila part of the government. Hiwalay sila sa gobyerno. And that sometimes come together to advance their common interests through collective action. So that is their function. Civil society are formed, they are not part of the government, but sometimes their interests, yung gusto nila, they want to advance their interests. Ibig sabihin, they want to achieve their goals, their interests, so that through their collective action, yung sama-sama nilang pagkilos ay makakatulong minsan sa ating government, especially for the welfare of our society. That is the most important function of civil society. That's why we differentiate them as civil society. Now, another definition. According to this definition, it's also a web of human relationships made of individual people, their networks, organizations, and in situations around which social and community life is based. Okay? So, yan yung sasabing civil society. It's also a web of human relationship. Ibig sabihin, para siyang para ba siyang, kung titingnan niyo, a web is like kung sa Filipino language ay yung sapot, no? So yun, magkakasama pero interrelated. Ito ay mga sapot ng iba't ibang tao, yung kanilang network or yung kanilang organization, kung saan the situations around which social and community life is based. Okay, so yun. That is what is meant by civil society. Now, another definition, that is according to this definition is another definition is according to the London School of Economics. Other definition, ito naman ay sa economic part, ito ang definition ng civil society. According to the London School of Economics, Center for Civil Society's working definition is illustrative. So, ang pagkaka-define naman ni London School of Economics, yung definition niya is very illustrative. Ibig sabihin, the definition itself is being illustrated from the meaning. Okay, so illustrative. Civil society refers to the arena of uncoerced. So tingnan nyo yung definition niya, talagang inilarawan niya, kaya tinawag siyang illustrative. Civil society refers to the arena of uncoerced collective action around shared interests, purposes, and values. So meaning, ang civil society ay para siyang isang arena. Kung alam mo yung alam niyo yung arena, yung parang sa arena, halimbawa sa palaruan, yun ang tinatawag niya arena, no? So it's like in a sports arena. So ganun daw inirefer ang civil society. Binubuo ng mga tinatawag na mga iba't ibang pagkilos na hindi siya pinupwersang pagkilos. Kaya tinawag siyang uncoerced collective action. Yung sama-samang pagkilos na hindi siya binayaran, hindi siya diniktahan na pagkilos. Okay, kung hindi, ito ay batay sa interest or voluntary action of every individual na magkakasama or pare-parehas ang kanilang gustong mangyari. for the same purpose and for the same values. Pare-parehas ang kanilang purpose, pare-parehas ang kanilang pinapahalagahan. So that is why civil society, that's what civil society mean. And also, civil society commonly embraces a diversity of space. Okay, when we talk of diversity, yung magkakaiba. Okay, it's commonly embraces a diversity. Ibig sabihin, ang civil society ay niyayakap niya yung sinasabing pagkakaroon ng pagkakaiba-iba. Diversity of spaces, pagkakaiba-iba ng ating distance, for example, yung actors, yung pagkakaiba-iba ng mga tao, mga institutional, no? Mga institutional forms, magkakaiba ng mga institusyon. Magkakaiba din yung kanilang degree of formality. Merong formal institution, meron ding informal yung pagkakabuo nila as a civil society organization. Okay. Varying in their degree of formality, autonomy, and power. Magkakaiba sila ng kung paano sila naitatag. Ito ba ay formal ang pagkakatatag, formal yung kanilang turingan, or magkakaiba din sila sa kanilang independence, independence as a group, and then magkakaiba yung kanilang power sa society. Okay, merong mga civil society na malakas ang impluensya, meron din yung hindi ganong kalakas, pero nagkakaroon din ng impact sa society. And also, yung power structure nila magkakaiba din. Meron yung may mas matataas ang level ng bawat isa, or sometimes they are all the same. Wala silang kinikilalang mataas. Parang meron lang silang representative, parang ganun. Kaya tinawag ng different degree of power. Now, civil societies are often populated by organizations such as, so ito yung mga isa sa mga example natin isa sa mga example ng civil societies. These are, for example, registered charities. So, for example, we talk about you may heard of, say, charity foundation. Charity are also examples of civil society. Kasi mostly they are voluntary in nature and they are not part of the government. There are also terms such as, there is also a term such as development non-governmental organization. So from the word alone, development non-governmental organization, they are an organization that is not part of the government, but mostly they seek development, or they want to implement development. Okay? The other example are the community groups. Okay, community groups are mostly common in our area, in our community. Usually may mga grupo ng mga tao na they are there for as a group, community groups. For example, yung samahan ng mga kabataan, those are examples of community groups which can be considered also as the civil society. The other one, yung samahan ng mga kababayan or women's organizations. In your local area, perhaps meron kayong mga sorority group or samahan ng mga kabataan o kabataang babae, for example. Those are examples of civil society. You see, they are not part of the government. The other one is the faith-based organizations. So when we talk of faith-based organization, these are organizations formed together mostly because of their faith, common faith. Pare-parehas yung kanilang religion or beliefs. Kaya tinawag ng faith-based organization. Katulad ng halimbawa, yung Couples for Christ, JIL, and other religious group. Pero it's not actually hindi tayo tumutukoy dun sa tinatawag na religious group na direktang church, no? Sometimes there are churches na nagbi-build ng organization outside of the church. Okay? So, for example, nagpo-form sila, for example, ng mga fellowship group. For example, young people fellowship group. Okay? So, minsan they are there to encourage youth to be active member of the organization and become a responsible individual. So it's not directly recruiting individual to become member of their faith. Okay, they are separate. Although sometimes that is their way to recruit these people. Okay, yun yung tatawag na faith-based organizations. For example, yung uh, one example which is very recognized, Salvation Army. Salvation Army is one example of international civil organization that is based in Korea, and mostly they are voluntary in nature. They help people, especially in other countries. They will give, or they were tasked, or they are there to help other countries, especially for charity purposes. Okay, yun yung sasabi example ng faith-based organization. The other one is the professional associations. So professional associations, from the word professional alone, these are group of the same these are a group of people with the same profession. For example, uh, PAMIT is an example of social professional associations, although they are professional institutions. No, mostly when we talk of civil organization, they are formed for a certain common interest, in order to improve the welfare of their group or for the welfare of the society. So yun, yung tinatawag na professional associations. Diba, samahan ng mga pulis, meron silang grupo na tinayo nila, and mostly these are group of people na para maitaguyod naman yung karapatan ng mga pulis. Halimbawa, may mga issue sila sa kanilang kabaro, ano, na gusto nilang tulungan. So, through this group, that is what we call professional associations. The other one is trade unions. So, one example of civil society, trade unions. And one example of trade union in the country is, I just showed you a while back, no? I just flashed in our screen a while back yung the first slide, which is the KMU, no, the Kilusang Mayo Uno. So that's an example of trade union. Trade union, therefore, are a group of individuals who are involved in trade, or in work, or in labor. So yan, trade union or labor unions. Self-help groups. Okay, self-help groups are the groups of people who are form themselves as a group for, again, for common purposes, in order to help other people who have the same, okay, who has the same, what do we call this, issues, just like them. So they want to help this individual. For example, yung uh, kabataang ayaw sa droga, for example, it's a club in your organization, and we can say there this is also considered as a self-help group kasi, for example, most of the group that are involved are having this problem about drug addiction, so they want to help also other people just like them to be rehabilitated. So yun yung sabing self-help groups. Other organization are the social movement. Again, social movement is another form of social society, as civil society. And when we talk of social movement, ito yung tinatawag na kilusang panlipunan. Meaning, they are one type of civil society where their interest is about addressing certain issue in society. So once the issue is addressed, then this group will perhaps disperse, or perhaps will not continue. So that is social movement. The other one is business associations. So these are the associations of business individuals, okay, or for them to help each other about businesses. Another one is coalitions and advocacy group. So you see, these are all examples of civil society group. Okay, they are one classification of uh, civil society group. Okay, now to summarize that, these are the compositions. Okay, these are the compositions of the civil society group. Number one composition, one example of civil society groups are the non-government organization or non-governmental organization. Sometimes you call this as NGOs. Okay, perhaps you may have heard this word NGOs. No, NGOs or non-governmental organizations are any group that are not involved in government. That's why it's called non-governmental organization. They are not part of the government, but mostly their their purpose is their purpose and their actions are sometimes governmental. Para ba siyang para din silang part of the government, but it's not. Okay? Some of the functions of the government are being taken by these non-governmental organizations, pero hindi sila kinumisyon or they are not being mandated by our government. So they are apart from the government. So that's why we call that as non-governmental organizations. Okay, katulad ng Red Cross, di ba? They are also considered as non-governmental organizations. Next, trade unions. One example or composition of trade unions, as I've mentioned a while back, is the Kilusang Mayono or Trade Union Council of the Philippines. Yan, or Samahang Manggagawa ng Pilipinas o Kilusang Manggagawa ng Pilipinas. So that is an example of civil society, trade unions. Faith-based organizations, I have mentioned a while back, no? Any organization na they are formed together based on their same religious faith or beliefs. And the fourth composition is what we call the indigenous peoples movement. So mostly, pag sinabi natin indigenous peoples movement, ito yung mga kilusan ng mga tao, grupo ng mga tao na they are part of the indigenous peoples. Okay? Next, we have the foundation. Foundations are sometimes ito yung halimbawa, GMA Foundation. Foundations are being built by group or entity, sometimes one private sector, pero ginawa niyang foundation as part of civil society. This foundation will most likely they help the government. Sometimes they are there to help the government to foster the service or public service or to give public service. Okay? So, ayan yung foundation. Halimbawa, nagbibigay ng scholarship program, nagpapatayo ng school. Those are one of the function of foundation. Then the other one, we have the registered charities. Okay, charities, this from the word charity alone, registered charities are group or organization built by certain individuals or especially the wealthy individual. Nagtatayo siya ng charity. And charity is for the welfare of the people, especially the marginalized people or the poor, those who are people in marginalized sector of society. Okay. So, nagbibigay sila ng service dyan through charities, charity works. Halimbawa, free medical mission, right? So, free free medicine, for example, free education, assistance. That is one of the function of charities. Okay. Now, those are the composition of civil society. Again, these are the NGOs, the trade unions, the faith-based organizations, the indigenous peoples movement, the foundations, and charities. I hope you were able to remember that. Okay, let's see the function. Ano yung ginagampanan niya sa ating society nitong civil organization or civil society? Okay, number one function is protection. Okay, protection for what? Or protection of what? Ano yung pinoprotectionan nila? Mostly, the protection of the interest of the people. Okay, protection of every individuals or for certain individuals. Second is to monitoring. Monitoring, ano yung minomonitor ng organization na ito? Mostly, they monitor the efficient or the proper public service. Okay? Monitoring. So, minomonitor nila yung welfare ng individuals sa society. So, pag may mali, sila yung tumitingin para ipaalam sa government. The other one, the third function and contribution of civil society organization is advocacy and public communication. Mostly of in our civil society, ito yung nakikita natin, advocacy and public uh, communication. So when we talk of advocacy and public communication, uh, these organizations are there to advocate, okay, to advocate something for our society, okay, through our government. Okay, so minsan halimbawa nakikita nila marami ang mga nagko-commit na injustices, hindi masyadong naibibigay ang tamang benepisyo sa tao. Sometimes these civil organization are there to help these people. Okay, kaya tinawag silang advocacy group. For example, yung climate change organization, for example, yung climate change commission, they are called also as advocacy group because they advocate something. Ibig sabihin, they want to send the message for our government for a change. Okay? So ayan. So hatid nila yung gusto nilang mangyari sa gobyerno para maitama kung ano yung nakikita nilang mali. That's why it's called advocacy. And public communication, to communicate to the public, to inform the public. That's the third function. Now, fourth is social cohesion. How this civil society function as social cohesion? Okay. When we talk of social cohesion is we talk about the people who will be following what is best for society. Kaya tinawag na social cohesion para ma-maintain yung ating unity and solidarity in terms of relationship in our society para magkaroon ng progress. So, yun ang tinatawag na social cohesion. Social cohesion meaning to be in the proper standard or in a proper behavior in society. So that's what we call social cohesion para ma-maintain yung tinatawag na harmony. Okay, yung sumunod tayo sa batas para walang magkaroon ng kaguluhan. Ibig sabihin, sumusunod. Yun ang tinatawag na social cohesion. Okay? So, we are to abide by the law. Kaya tinawag na social cohesion. Kung ano yung mga sinusunod natin, kung ano yung tama na ginagawa sa society, we have to obey, we have to abide by it. We have to follow the rules and regulations to maintain social cohesion para maipanatili yung pagkakaisa natin. Okay? As one part of the one part of society or as part of society as a group. Okay? That is one function to maintain social cohesion. Next, isa sa mga ganpanin din ng civil society organization is the intermediation and facilitation. Okay, intermediation and facilitation. So intermediation and facilitation of something. Ano ba 'yon? Para sila ay makipag-intermediate. Ibig sabihin, the government and the people, there has to be an intermediate actor. Okay, ibig sabihin sila yung magiging intermediary. So halimbawa, ang government at ang tao minsan hindi maayos yung tawag doon, hindi maayos yung kalagayan, hindi maganda yung relationship. Okay, hindi maayos na ginagampanan ng gobyerno ang kanyang tungkulin sa mga tao, sa public, So therefore, sometimes through the civil organizations, sila yung namamagitan to deliver that public service to the people. So that's why there's intermediation and facilitation. Sila yung nagfa-facilitate. Okay? So halimbawa, hindi kayang i-deliver ng government ng maayos, halimbawa yung tamang proseso, halimbawa, or tamang service para sa pagbibigay ng magandang magandang medical services o tamang serbisyong pang-medical sa tao. So sometimes the civil organizations, through their effort, no, na hindi naman sila binayaran ng government, through their effort, sila mismo yung nagngangalap ng pondo through donations, at sila yung nagbibigay ng service na hindi kayang ibigay ng serbisyo ng government. For example, in rural areas, mostly in rural areas, the people are not easily accessible. They are not accessible to quality medical services. So sometimes ang civil society, sila mismo yung pumupunta doon to deliver the immediate services to the people without the help of the government or through the coordination of the government perhaps. So ayun, ano, sila yung nagfa-facilitate, sila yung nag-intermediate para maibalik ang balanse nung ugnayan ng the people and the government. So that is the intermediation, that's the function. And the last one, service delivery. Okay, as I have mentioned, katulad kanina ng intermediation and facilitation, another example para mas maintindihan yung intermediation and facilitation. Halimbawa, merong mga conflict, no, between the government and the people, hindi nagkakaunawaan. So ayaw, halimbawa may itatayong ano, halimbawa project, and then the people are not do not agree to the project. For example, sometimes the civil society itself will mediate to that, or they will be the one to intermediate, to negotiate, you know, between the people and the public, for example. Or perhaps they are the one to support, you know, the people, so that the project will not really implement because it might cause a danger to the people. So tumutulong ang civil society group. That's why there is what we call intermediation and facilitation. Now, in terms of service delivery, this is delivery in terms of public service. Yung tinatawag na service delivery. Ano yung service na sinasabi? Service, ito yung bagay na ginagawa ng ating government sa ating mga tao, no? Yung halimbawa, maayos na serbisyong medical, serbisyong social, no, yung halimbawa tamang pagbibigay ng mga gamot. Minsan kulang ang distribution of medicines to the people, kulang yung supply. So because of that, there is a problem in service delivery through health service. So anong ginagawa ng civil society? Sila mismo ay magpo-purchase, sila mismo ay magpo-provide ng libreng gamot, for example, para ibigay sa tao, para magtuloy-tuloy yung service ng serbisyong medical sa tao. That's an example of service delivery. So mas pinabibilis nila, no? They were there to efficiently deliver the necessary services given by the government to the people. And sometimes, if the government cannot provide this service, this civil society will provide for the government to the people. Okay, I hope naintindihan. So these are the 6 functions and contributions of civil society group. Now, let's move to the concept of social movement. Ano naman ang ibig sabihin ng social movement, which is one of the example of civil society. Okay, let's define first what do we mean by social movement. Social movements can be thought of as organized yet informal social entities that are engaged in an extra-institutional conflict that is oriented towards a goal which can be concrete and narrow policy or aimed at cultural change. That's according to the EBSCO research starters in 2009. Okay. So, ano ibig sabihin ng social movement? From the word movement or kilusan. So, mostly when we talk of movement, this is purely political, no? They are engaged in extra conflict. So, mostly ito ay through political conflict, okay? For certain policy, no? To be changed or for cultural change. Okay, yan yung movement. Halimbawa na lang, yung ano ba yung isa sa mga ano natin? Charter change movement. O, pwede rin natin sabihin yung charter change movement. Ito ay kilusan ng mga tao na gustong baguhin ang ating constitution because they want that our constitution shall be changed for something that can be beneficial to the people. Kaya sinusulong nila yung ganong aim na magkaroon ng pagbabago sa ating constitution. So that's an example of movement. So they are engaged in extra institutional conflict. Okay, ibig sabihin ito ay gusot sa pagitan ng ating gobyerno na merong kailangang ipatupad na pagbabago maging sa polisiya o sa ating kultura. Okay? That is social movement. Katulad halimbawa nung yung early movement, yung KKK is an example of movement. Kung babalikan natin yung KKK, no? Ito ay kilusan. Kilusan because they want to call for a change in the government. Okay, through revolution kasi ayaw nila yung patakaran ng government of Spanish government. So they call for a change. To change the policy or to change for the certain culture. So these are what we call social movements. Now, what if their agenda has been done, has been finished? What happens to this movement? Of course, this movement will now be dissolved. Okay? So mawawala na kasi tapos na yung kanilang goal. So that's the difference, no? Yan yung pagkakaiba. So mostly tandaan when we talk of social movement, these are organized. Sometimes it is formal, sometimes informal, but mostly ito ay informal. Kaya siya informal because it's not permanent. There is a sudden group, sudden formation of a group necessary for a certain change in the policy or in the culture. Kaya binuo itong group na ito. So they are called as movement or kilusan. Okay, next. There are 4 stages of social movements. So titingnan natin yung evolution niya, yung kanila how social movements form. Number 1, we have what we call emergence. Okay? Emergence meaning paano nagsimula? So nagsisimula ang social movement to the first stage, which is emergence. And emergence happen through social movements through what we call little to no organization. Social movements are very preliminary. And this is the first stage. It is just a preliminary in the sense na you might think that there is little or to no organization kasi ilan-ilan lang yung nabubuo. So ilan lang ang sumasama. So that's emergence, no? Dito pa lang nabubuo eh. So katulad ng example, no, yung Civil Rights Society movement ng United States, no, ng Amerika noong 1950s. Yung civil rights movement nila, bago naging movement siya, mangilan-ngilan lang muna sumasali hanggang sa dumami. So emergence ang tawag doon. Coalescence, ibig sabihin, ito na yung second stage. Yung social movement have overcome obstacles. So itong grupo nila, ang kilusan nila ay medyo na lalagpasan na niya yung mga harang sa kanilang pagbuo, no? Minsan kasi may mga kokontra, pero kahit papaano ito ay nalagpasan nila, so medyo tumatatag na. So there are obstacles but they have overcome that. So ito ay characterized by a more clearly defined sense of discontent, a sense of what the unease is all about, what is responsible, about who or what is responsible. So from this stage, they already identified what is their goal, and there are many people who are now showing discontentment. So sumasali nila sa grupo. At alam na nila kung ano ang kanilang ayaw, ano yung kinaayawan nila, o kung ano yung responsible dito sa kanilang discontentment. So it's already clearly defined to them. So alam nila. That's number 2. Number 3, we have the third stage, bureaucratization. Okay, this is now the third stage. So ibig sabihin matatag na to, no? Hindi na yung kung saan-saan lang sila nabuo. But instead, there is now what we call the structure. So it is characterized now by higher levels of the organization and coalition-based movement. So hindi na lang sila parang isa lang na maliit lang na grupo, but this time meron na silang parang pinakamataas, no? Pinaka main, no, na group and coalition. It can no longer just rely on mass rallies. So hindi na lang ngayon sila uh, nakadepende sa pagrarally, yung mas marami ang pagrarally, no, or inspirational leaders. They must rely on trained staff to carry the function to the organization. So ibig sabihin, yung stage na ito ng social movement, meron na silang mga tinetrain kung na mga leaders para mas maging maayos at bihasa, ano, especially when it comes to addressing their grievances to the public. Okay, for example, yung gay right movement ngayon, ano, the parade right. Marami na diyan, nare-recruit na nila, may mga malalaki na magre-represent sa government. So, trained na sila, no? Bihasa na yung mga leaders. So, that is bureaucratization. There are heads and other subheads. Okay. Now, once that is at the peak of this movement, ano, nandun na sila sa kanilang pinakatuktok, and they were able to realize that goal, their mission, darating sa punto na there is now what we call the stage of decline. Okay? So, after the peak, there is a decline. This is now the fourth stage. It does not necessarily mean failure. So, once we call this decline, hindi ibig sabihin ito ay failure sa kanila. Actually, pag nag-decline, ibig sabihin they are successful in their movement. So, meaning, wala na yung problem. So, it does not necessarily mean failure of social movement, as Miller told in 1999. He argues that there are four ways for social movement to decrease. Okay, it might be success or organized failure or coalescence or repression. Okay, so yun. It might be failure or success or repression. So those are the four stages of social movements. Let's talk about these functions and contributions of social movements as we have flashed a while back yung overview, no? Okay, so functions and contributions. Sa tingin nyo, ano yung mag-contribute ng social function sa ating government or sa ating community? Okay, number one, create conditions for a genuine community consent. So, through social movements, okay, kung ano yung sa pamamagitan ng social movement, magkakaroon ng community consent. Okay? Ibig sabihin, because people are discontent, therefore, the government must listen to what are this discontentment and come to a solution. So, with that, through this, magkakaroon ng community consent. Ibig sabihin, magkakaroon ng agreement, okay, that the people will really adhere or agree to what is being implemented. So, yan, magkakaroon ng community consent. Ibig sabihin, lahat ay papayag kung ano yung mangyari. The second one, it's to build solidarity through a continuous series of interactions between power holders and persons successfully claiming to speak on behalf of a constituency lacking formal representation. So, sa pamamagitan ng dialogue, ano, dahil sa movement na ito, magkakaroon kasi ng dialogue, and therefore, with this, there is solidarity, magkakaroon ng pagkakaisa, pagiging matatag, okay, magiging buo muli yung society through continuous series of interaction. Okay, pag sabi nga nila, we have to agree to disagree. We have to have what we call a continuous communication to have a better relationship. So ganun din, ano, so through movement na iparating niya yung kanyang hinaing. So, pag naintindihan ng government side, therefore, magkakaroon ng solidarity ang society. Magiging buo, walang aklasan. That's one function of social movement. Now, the third is to tend to emerge initially as a local source of power and morality. So sa pamamagitan ng social movement, this is now the beginning, or this is the source of which the power and morality comes, okay, through social movement. Okay, dahil sa social movement na ipaparating nila yung ano yun na yung nagkakaroon ng kapangyarihan ng tao, at because of that merong morality. When we talk of morality, something that is acceptable action of the people, okay, through social movement. And next, create constituencies of accountability and alternative authoritative interpretative communities that draw on local resources to ground the lawmaking process in a moral vision, forces their legal advocates to call with issues of substantive justice. So that means dahil sa social movement mag-create ito, no, it will create a people of accountability. Okay, magiging accountable ngayon ng tao because the people are now being informed, and also the government is receptive of the people's needs. At the same time, the people are also receptive of the ideas of the government. Okay, so there's what we call constituencies of accountability and alternative authoritative interpretive communities. Okay, ibig sabihin there's what we call the power of the people, and at the same time they are also being the people who are submissive to the government. Okay, and they can have we can draw what we call a local resources to have what we call lawmaking process in a moral vision. So yun ang ibig sabihin nun, no? And the fifth function of social movement, uh, it may ultimately succeed in changing public opinion. Okay, sa pamamagitan ng social movement, magiging ano to, no, it's a way for the people to be informed, and at the same time uh, the people will change their mind, okay, through this social movement. Okay, dahil dito sa halimbawa sa social movement na ito, may paparating sa tao kung ano yung tama, because this social movement are really advocating for something, for the betterment of society. Mostly of the social movement are for better change in society. So this will also this is also a way to change the mindset of the people or the public opinion. Okay, and the last one, through social movement, it will also influence lawmaking. Okay, so sa pamamagitan ng social movement natin, yung mga grupo ng mga kilusan, ang ating lawmaker ay maaring magbago ang kanilang isip, at dahil nakinig sila doon sa hinaing ng tao. So this will be the basis for them to create a law that is fair and just for the people. Okay, not just for the side of the government, but for the people and for the society alone. So that is the influence making. Okay, so that is all about this social movement and social organization. So by the way, don't be confused, ano? Social movement is also kind of civil society. Okay, they are just different categories of civil society. Okay, now question. Any question? All right, so if there are no more questions, or perhaps you want to raise questions, you may directly send your message on my messenger so that I can explain to you what are those questions you want to ask, or I can respond to your questions, since we are in distance learning. Okay, so again, if there are no more questions, you expect thank you for watching and listening, and you may expect for another quiz of this for this lesson, or I might give you another performance task. Okay, all right, so if there are no more questions, thank you and God bless.